Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to share some tips that'll really help improve your gameplay in World of Tanks Blitz. Alright, so the first tip is to use premium ammo. A lot of new players just glance at it and skip it because they assume it's only for gold. But here's the thing. While many players might equip it, they often don't actually use it, which makes it harder for them to pen their shots, and that really hurts their gameplay. Premium ammo might cost a bit of credits, but if you equip it and actually use it in battle, it can make a huge difference in your performance and rewards. In my opinion, not using premium ammo in Tier 4 or lower is totally fine, but once you hit Tier 5 or higher, you really should start using it. It makes a noticeable difference, especially when dealing with tougher opponents and heavily armored tanks. The next tip is to make sure your tank is properly equipped, especially when it comes to consumables and equipment. For example, if I'm using a medium tank, I'd go with calibrated shells, Cali, a defense system, and improved optics. Defense systems are a must for all tanks. Depending on your tank or playstyle, you might opt for a supercharger or enhanced gun laying drive. Personally, I usually go with enhanced armor, engine accelerator, refined gun, and a toolbox on most of my tanks. For the last equipment slot, it depends on whether you're using an auto reloader or a single-shot tank. If it's an auto reloader, always choose the consumable delivery system. For single-shot tanks, high-end consumables are the way to go. Oh, and just so you know, this is my alternate account, so some of my tanks aren't fully equipped yet. Equipping provisions always depends on the tank you're driving, since every tank has its own strengths and weaknesses. For example, if the tank is slow and not very accurate, I'd go with fuel provisions and others that improve dispersion and aiming time. On the other hand, if the tank I'm driving lacks armor and is easily hit with HE shells, a spall liner is a must-have for added protection. For consumables, every tank should always have at least one repair kit. It's a must. If you're driving an auto reloader, I'd suggest going with 2 repair kits for better survivability. Some tanks come with extra consumable options. For instance, my BAT Chatillon has a shell reload boost, which helps me unload my clip faster. Meanwhile, my FV201 comes with tungsten shells, reactive armor, and improved speed boost, which you can pair with 1 or 2 repair kits depending on your playstyle. Personally, I think tungsten shells and improved speed boost work best for this tank when paired with just 1 repair kit. There are 4 tank categories in Blitz, and most tanks in these categories have different playstyles. For example, my BAT Chatillon has no armor, so when I play passively. Let's jump into a match so I can show you what I mean. And just to clarify, I'm not a super skilled player, I'm just sharing my opinion and tips that could help especially new players improve their gameplay. Yeah, that wasn't the best match to really show what I meant, but at least it kind of demonstrated the point. Now, a tank like the Minotaur, with its great armor and frontlining capabilities, I'll most of the time play aggressive, or at least somewhat aggressive. Let's jump into a battle with it. Man, this lag is so freaking annoying. I'm not sure if it's the server or my connection causing it, though. Hopefully it clears up soon, though. Oh, and, a main point I forgot to mention is the spotting mechanics. Light and medium tanks have the best view range, so they can outspot enemies and really bleed them out. Most tanks, after they're detected, stay spotted for 10 seconds, but some with adaptive concealment can get unspotted after just 7 seconds. And then there are tanks with tracer shells, which, if they hit an enemy, will keep them spotted for 20 seconds. Wow, this lag is just so fun. That freaking tank came out of nowhere. Yeah, now this freaking T-22 is gonna make me so damn angry. Literally, what the frick is he doing? This is beyond ridiculous. The next tip is to angle your tank properly. You can head over to blitzkit.com and check your tank's armor profile, so you can angle it just right to get those bounces in battle. For example, with this Progetto, I angle my tank a bit to the side, so my hull gets auto-ricochet if the enemy shoots at it. Let me show you what I mean by using the armor profile. You can see that on flat ground, my hull is almost fully penetrable, and it only really works when I'm on high ground. But when I angle it a bit to the side on flat ground, it's tricking the enemy into wondering if their shot will pen or not. Also, with my tank's side being red, it means they won't be able to pen me unless they load gold. And for the last tip of today's video, it's all about positioning correctly. If you're in a medium or light tank, you should head to the medium flank, especially if the number of medium-light tanks is balanced on both teams. If you're in a heavy tank, you should go to the heavy flank if the numbers are balanced. For tank destroyers, you should focus on supporting your teammates. Also, it's important to know common tank destroyer spots, so you don't just poke and end up getting blasted by a high alpha TD. Let me show you what I mean on a few maps. First map is Dead Rail. Let me set up my pointer real quick. Let me quickly draw the spawn points. So let's say you're in a medium or light tank, and you head to the medium flank. Those dots are the spots where tank destroyers usually set up. It's important to keep an eye on these areas so you don't get caught off guard. As you can see, you really need to be cautious because from those spots, tank destroyers can hit you across the map. It's always best to stay aware and avoid getting too exposed. And if you're on a heavy tank and go to those spots, it's pretty much the same as the medium flank. You still need to be cautious because tank destroyers usually camp on those dots and they can easily nuke your health if you're not careful. The rest is the same. Even if you spawn on the upper side as a light or medium tank and head to the medium flank, you still need to be cautious about tank destroyers camping in the enemy spawn. They can get the perfect shots on you if you're not careful. Those dots are where tank destroyers usually position themselves. They can easily shoot you across the map if you're not in cover, so always keep an eye on your surroundings and stay hidden when you can. And if you're in a heavy tank and go to the heavy flank like that, those dots where I drew the line are the tank destroyer spots. They can easily shoot you from there, so you definitely need to be cautious and avoid exposing yourself too much. Next map is Normandy. Give me a moment to draw the spawn points. Suppose you spawn on the upper side and decide to go to those spots. You need to watch out for those areas on the enemy side where I drew the line. Tank destroyers usually camp there. Be really cautious when rushing into those spots, as they can catch you off guard and deal massive damage. And it's the same if you spawn on spawn 2 and decide to go to those spots. You still need to be cautious about the spot on the enemy side where I drew the line, as tank destroyers often camp there. Always be mindful of your positioning to avoid getting hit. And if you spawn on the other side and go to those spots, you need to watch out for the places where I drew the dots. Tank destroyers usually camp there, so be cautious when moving through those areas. And if you go from spawn 2 to those positions, you need to watch out for the spot on the enemy side where I drew the line. Tank destroyers often camp there, so stay alert when passing through. Alright, that's it for today's video. Hope it helps you all, especially the new players in this game. Take care, and see you next time.